In this podcast episode, Celina Caesar-Chavannes, a former member of Parliament in Canada, shares her experiences and insights regarding her time in politics, particularly under Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's administration. She discusses the challenges faced by women and minorities in political spaces, the dynamics of power, and the implications of tokenism. Caesar-Chavannes begins by contextualizing her entry into politics, highlighting the political climate in Canada during the 2015 elections. She notes that the Liberal Party, under Trudeau, was seen as a beacon of hope for many Canadians who were eager for change after a decade of Conservative rule. The excitement surrounding Trudeau's leadership was palpable, and many, including Caesar-Chavannes, were swept up in the optimism of a new era. However, she emphasizes that this enthusiasm was not without its complexities, particularly for women and minorities who hope to see genuine representation and equity in governance. As she reflects on her initial motivations for joining the Liberal Party, Caesar-Chavannes reveals her desire to advocate for marginalized communities, particularly those affected by neurological conditions. Her background in healthcare and research positioned her uniquely to address these issues. However, she soon discovered that the political reality was far more complicated than she had anticipated, leading to feelings of disenfranchisement and frustration. Caesar-Chavannes was appointed as Parliamentary Secretary to the Prime Minister shortly after winning her seat in 2015. She describes this role as one that should ideally involve close collaboration with the Prime Minister, allowing her to influence policy and advocate for her constituents effectively. However, she quickly realized that her expectations were not met. The lack of direct communication with Trudeau and the sidelining of her initiatives left her feeling marginalized within the government. The disconnect between her role and the reality of her influence became increasingly apparent. Despite her qualifications and dedication, she found herself unable to engage meaningfully in discussions that mattered to her and her constituents. This experience highlighted the challenges faced by women and minorities in political spaces, where their voices are often drowned out by more dominant narratives. One of the central themes of Caesar-Chavannes' narrative is the issue of tokenism. She articulates her discomfort with being seen as a representative of diversity rather than a competent individual in her own right. The Prime Minister's announcement of a 50-50 cabinet based on gender equity, while well-intentioned, left her feeling like a token rather than a valued member of the team. This sentiment was compounded by her experiences of being invited to events that were racially or gender-focused, which further reinforced her feelings of being sidelined. Caesar-Chavannes emphasizes that tokenism is not just a personal grievance. It has broader implications for governance and representation. When individuals are appointed based on their identity rather than their qualifications, it undermines the integrity of the political system. This reality can lead to disillusionment among those who genuinely seek to make a difference, as they grapple with the dual pressures of representing their communities while also navigating a system that often does not value their contributions. The leadership style of Justin Trudeau is another focal point in Caesar-Chavannes' account. She describes him as someone who often prioritizes optics over substance, leading to a disconnect between his public persona and the realities of governance. This perception was particularly evident during her interactions with him, where she felt that her concerns were dismissed and that he was more interested in maintaining a certain image than engaging in meaningful dialogue. Caesar-Chavannes recounts specific instances where she attempted to bring important issues to Trudeau's attention, only to be met with indifference. This lack of engagement not only affected her personally, but also had broader implications for the communities she represented. The failure to address critical issues, particularly those affecting marginalized groups, highlighted the limitations of Trudeau's leadership and raised questions about his commitment to genuine equity and inclusion. The emotional toll of her experiences in politics is a recurring theme in Caesar-Chavannes' narrative. She candidly shares her struggles with mental health, particularly during her time in office. The pressures of being a visible minority in a high-stakes political environment coupled with the feelings of isolation and marginalization, took a significant toll on her well-being. She describes a period of severe depression that culminated in a nervous breakdown, illustrating the profound impact that political dynamics can have on individuals. Caesar-Chavannes emphasizes the importance of mental health awareness, particularly for those in leadership positions. The stigma surrounding mental health issues often prevents individuals from seeking help, leading to a cycle of suffering that can have devastating consequences. Her story serves as a reminder of the need for greater support systems within political institutions to ensure that individuals can thrive both personally and professionally. Ultimately, Caesar-Chavannes made the difficult decision to leave politics, a choice that was not made lightly. She reflects on the sacrifices she made to enter public service, including divesting from her successful business. The realization that she was not able to effect meaningful change within the Liberal Party was a significant factor in her decision to step away. She recognized that her values and principles were not aligned with the direction of the party, leading her to prioritize her integrity over her political ambitions. Her departure was not just a personal decision, it was also a statement against the systemic issues she observed within the government. By choosing to leave, she aimed to highlight the need for genuine representation and accountability in politics. Her story serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of standing up for one's beliefs, even in the face of adversity. Caesar-Chavannes discusses the role of media in shaping public perceptions of political figures and events. She expresses frustration with the Canadian media's tendency to glorify Trudeau while downplaying the experiences of those who have left his government. This dynamic creates a narrative that often overlooks the complexities of political life and the challenges faced by women and minorities. The media's failure to adequately cover the stories of individuals like Caesar-Chavannes, Jody Wilson-Raybould, and others who have left the Liberal Party contributes to a lack of accountability for political leaders. By not amplifying these voices, the media perpetuates a cycle of silence that allows problematic behaviors to go unchecked. Caesar-Chavannes calls for a more nuanced and critical approach to political reporting that prioritizes the experiences of marginalized individuals. Following her departure from politics, Caesar-Chavannes has continued to advocate for issues that matter to her, particularly those affecting marginalized communities. She emphasizes the importance of using her platform to raise awareness and drive change, even outside of the political arena. Her commitment to advocacy reflects her belief in the power of individual voices to effect meaningful change, regardless of their political affiliations. Caesar-Chavannes' journey serves as an inspiration for others who may feel disillusioned by the political system. She encourages individuals to remain engaged and to seek out opportunities for advocacy in their own communities. By sharing her story, she hopes to empower others to stand up for their beliefs and to challenge the status quo. As she reflects on her experiences, Caesar-Chavannes expresses hope for the future of equity in Canadian politics. She acknowledges the progress that has been made, but emphasizes that there is still much work to be done. The need for genuine representation and accountability remains critical, particularly for women and minorities who continue to face systemic barriers. Caesar-Chavannes calls for a reevaluation of how political parties approach diversity and inclusion. Rather than viewing these issues as mere optics, she advocates for a deeper commitment to creating spaces where all voices are valued and heard. Her vision for the future of politics is one where individuals are empowered to bring their authentic selves to the table, leading to more equitable and just governance.